If you're new to Rust, you've probably realized how difficult the game can be. This guide should tell you all you need to know when getting started. I'll show you the strategies I use to guarantee myself a successful wipe. Once you understand the basics, the rest will start to fall into place. At first, you will probably die a lot, but if you keep going, you will pick things up very quickly. If you find this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button below and subscribe to the channel, it helps me a lot. With that said, let's move into the game. As soon as you connect to a server, you'll find yourself spawning on the coast. It can be a summer biome, a jungle biome, a desert biome, or even sometimes a winter biome, depending on the map. By the way, the map is generated randomly each wipe, so the locations of monuments, biomes and spawn zones will be different from server to server. If you look at the bottom right of your screen, you'll see your heads-up display. It shows your health, thirst and hunger. The higher these indicators, the better for you. Health shows how much damage you can survive. Health can be restored by eating food, standing by a fire while having 100 comfort, using bandages, syringes or other meds. Additionally, indicators such as bleeding, radiation, freezing, extreme levels of hunger and thirst, building privilege, safe zone area, etc. appear above the health bar. You don't need to let your food or water drop to zero. If that happens, you will slowly start to lose health, and you won't be able to run fast. And the same goes for radiation. To open your inventory, you can press the button shown on the screen depending on your platform. You will always spawn with a rock that you can use to fight other nakeds, gather resources, barrels, animals and other stuff, and a torch that you can use to navigate at night or in tunnels. If you click on the crafting button, it will take you to the crafting menu. Here you will find all the items you can craft, divided into different categories. At the beginning of survival, you will only have access to the most basic and primitive items, but as you progress, you will unlock new items. Make sure you also go into your settings, open the Controls tab and change the hover loot to the side button on your mouse. This is the most convenient button in my opinion. Now you can quickly drag loot to your inventory, which greatly enhances your gameplay experience. Next, go to the Controls tab and adjust the sensitivity level to a setting that works best for you. And in the Options tab, change the field of view to the maximum value to see more of what's happening at the edges of the screen. Also, I highly recommend watching this video on my channel, where I'm showing the best settings, commands and keybinds in Rust. I'll leave the link to this video in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Try to avoid servers that have a high number of online players, or that have recently been wiped. Because the hardest thing about this game is not the environment, radiation, bots or everything else, but the other players. For beginners, the best option is official servers with a bi-weekly or monthly wipe and a maximum of 100 players online. This way you can understand the game and master its mechanics and features without going crazy. Now open the map. Before you start gathering loot, choose a place where you want to build a base. If you start collecting loot as soon as you respawn, there's a good chance you'll lose it, because you don't have a base yet. If you don't know how to choose where to build a base, let me help you. Try to avoid the winter biome, because clans play here, so you won't stand a chance against a group of 5 or more people. I also don't recommend the desert biome, because there are few resources and the terrain is mostly open, making you an easy target. Jungle biome is also not the most suitable, because there are too many plants, trees and other wildlife, so it will be difficult for you to find resources. All that's left is the summer and fall biomes. There's a bunch of ores, trees, animals and anything else you might need. Try to build near some kind of monument and road, so that you always have access to a recycler and components. And also avoid places with lots of vending machines, because that means there's a clan living here. Based on all that has been said, here are some good places to build a base. Now mark that spot and use the compass at the top of the screen to navigate here. If you're lucky, you might find a horse, bicycle or motorcycle along the way. This will help you reach your destination much faster. However, another way to get where you need to go quickly is by train. To do this, break a couple of red barrels to get low-grade fuel and find the railroad on the map. Here's what it looks like. Next, find a train, put fuel in it and hit the road. If there's a safe zone on the way to the place you have chosen, go there first. You can collect wood and stones along the way and look for cloth. You can also break some barrels if there is a road nearby. You will need these components soon. Once you reach the safe zone, run around it. There should be road signs here. If you break them, you will get some components. You can also break a couple of trees next to the safe zone while being completely safe. Next, recycle all components except the ropes. If you don't have ropes, you can buy tactical gloves for the scrap you just got and recycle them. Next, go to the workbench and craft clothes, armor, a nail gun with nails, a crossbow with arrows, a pickaxe, a hatchet, and bandages. If you get to the bandit camp instead of the safe zone, you don't have to collect components and just take the lumberjack mission from this NPC. Once you complete all 3 simple missions, you will get a crossbow, an axe, and clothes after spending a little time on it. This is a great option if you don't have the components and resources to craft your own weapons. At this stage, you already have all the necessary equipment, and all you have to do is get to the place where you want to build a base. Along the way, break some stones and trees to craft a building plan, a hammer, a TC, a wooden door, 2 locks, and a small crate. Try to avoid other players, to avoid losing your loot and having to start over. If you run into a boar, bear, wolf, or other dangerous animal, you can press Ctrl, then it will not aggro to you. However, if the animal is already running at you, just build a foundation and jump on it. This will save your life. If it's night on the server, never turn on the torch, because you will become an easy target for other players. Also, try to always stay on low ground, that way you can't be seen in the dark. If you are on the high ground, you will stand out against the sky, making you an easy target. To avoid getting lost at night, use a map. If you find yourself in a difficult situation, turn on the torch for a moment and then turn it off again to avoid attracting unnecessary attention. If you are lucky enough to find some valuable loot or weapons, immediately craft 1 or more stashes. Next, find bushes or rocks, put a stash next to them, throw the most valuable loot into it and hide it. Open the map, mark where you hid it, and sign the mark so that you won't forget about the stash in the future. After you build a base, you can pick up this loot. And now, you've finally reached your destination, so it's time to build a base. The most common options are 2x1 or 2x2 with an airlock. However, if you have very few resources, just build one foundation, upgrade it into stone or wood, place a TC in the corner and lock it up. To place a TC in the corner, hold down the Shift key and select the place where you want to put it. The same works with boxes, furnaces and other items. By the way, I have a complete guide on how to build the perfect base in Rust, so be sure to check it out. I'll leave the link to this video in the description below. This was the hardest part of survival, which can take tons of time if you're unlucky. Now that you have a base, you need to focus on progression. And for that, you'll need scrap. Lots of scrap. With scrap, you can unlock any item on the workbench, and without scrap, you can't even craft the workbench itself. So head out to break barrels near the roads, and also loot the monuments near your base. Recycle all unnecessary components to get even more scrap and speed up the process. Craft the first workbench and unlock all the items you need. Then craft the second workbench and repeat the same. And finally, craft the third workbench, but it will take you a while. There's also a very simple strategy I use all the time in my survival. I throw one sleeping bag near monuments with low radiation, such as water treatment, sever branch, and others. If I'm killed, I don't respawn in my base. I get up on that sleeping bag and do a quick naked loot run on this monument. If I'm lucky, I'll bring home some loot and components. If not, that's not a big deal, because I'm not losing anything. Next, farm metal, stone and wood. Expand and upgrade your base. Build a shooting floor and a compound. And get ready for a raid, because sooner or later your neighbors will blow up your base. And that's where the first part of the guide ends. From this, you should now hopefully have a good foundation to start playing from. There's a lot more to learn, but that's what makes the game so good. Be sure to watch all the videos I leave in the description to gain even more knowledge about the game. And if this guide wasn't enough for you, then in this guide I'll show you 10 of the most essential electrical circuits in Rust. From the automatic turrets and anti-door camper system to more complex auto smelter and auto lightning systems.